Short Biography of Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda was born on 12th January 1863 in Calcutta. His childhood name was Narendranath. His father Sri Vishwanath Datta was a famous lawyer of Calcutta High Court. His father believed in Western civilization. He also wanted his son Narendra to follow the pattern of Western civilization by teaching English. His mother Smt. Bhuvneshwari Deviji was a woman of religious views. Most of his time was spent in worshipping Lord Shiva. Narendra's intellect was very sharp since childhood and the longing to attain God was also strong. For this he first went to Brahma Samaj, but there his mind was not satisfied. He wanted to make a significant contribution to the introduction of Vedanta and Yoga in Western culture. Vishwanath Datta died by accident. The burden of the house fell on Narendra. The condition of the house was very bad. Narendra was a great guest servant even in extreme poverty. He himself used to feed the guest while being hungry. He himself kept getting wet and chilled all night outside in the rain and put the guest to sleep on his bed. Swami Vivekananda had dedicated his life to his Gurudev Sri Ramakrishna. During the days of Gurudev's death, without worrying about the critical condition of his home and family, without worrying about his own food, he continued to engage in Guru Seva. Gurudev's body had become very sick. Vivekananda was a great dreamer. He had envisioned a new society, a society in which there was no distinction between human beings on the basis of religion or caste. He put the principles of Vedanta in this form. Without getting into the controversy of spiritualism versus materialism, it can be said that the basis of the principle of equality, which Vivekananda gave, can hardly find a strong intellectual basis. Vivekananda had great hopes from the youth. For the youth of today, the author has tried to present this biography of this virtuous monk in the context of his contemporary society and historical background. Since childhood, Narendra was very intelligent and naughty. He used to play mischief with his fellow children. When given a chance, he did not miss to mischief with his teachers also. In Narendra's house, daily worship was done regularly. Due to religious tendency, goddess Bhuvneshwari was worshipped in Puranas, Ramayana. He was very fond of listening to the story of Mahabharata, etc. The narrators used to come regularly to his house. Bhajan Kirtan was also held regularly. Due to the influence of the religious and spiritual environment of the family, the values of religion and spirituality were deepened in the mind of child Narendra since childhood. Due to the sanskars and religious environment of the parents, the yearning to know and attain God started appearing in the mind of the child since childhood. In his eagerness to know about God, sometimes he used to ask such questions that even his parents and narrator Panditji used to get confused. Once someone showed hatred and inaction in the service of Gurudev and frowned with hatred. Seeing this, Swami Vivekananda got angry. He used to teach lessons to that Guru Bhai and, showing his love for everything of Gurudev, he used to throw a spittoon full of blood, phlegm, etc. near his bed. It was only by the majesty of such exclusive devotion and loyalty to the Guru that he could best serve the body of his Guru and his divine ideals. They could understand Gurudev, merge their own existence into the form of Gurudev. To spread the fragrance of India's invaluable spiritual treasure to the whole world. At the foundation of this great personality of his was such Guru Bhakti, Guru Seva and exclusive loyalty to the Guru. American sisters and brothers, my heart fills with indescribable joy as I stand up to express my gratitude to you for the cordiality and affection with which you have welcomed us. I thank you on behalf of the oldest tradition of ascetics in the world. I give thanks on behalf of the mother of religions, and I also thank you on behalf of all categories of Hindus of all sects and religions. I would also like to thank some of the speakers from this forum who, while mentioning Prachi's representatives, have told you that these people from distant countries can claim the pride of spreading the spirit of tolerance in different countries. I take pride in being a follower of a religion that has taught the world both tolerance and universal acceptance. We do not only believe in tolerance towards all religions, but accept all religions as true. I am proud to be a person of such country. Who has given shelter to the oppressed and refugees of all religions and countries of this earth. I am proud to tell you that we have in our bosom the purest remnant of the Jews who came to South India and took refuge in the same year their holy temple was reduced to dust by the tyranny of the Roman race. I take pride in being a follower of a religion which has given refuge to a remnant of the great Zarathustra caste and which it is still following. Brothers, let me tell you some lines of a hymn, which I have been reciting since childhood and which millions of human beings recite every day. At the age of 25, Narendra wore ochre clothes. After that he travelled all over India on foot. In 1893, the World Council of Religions was being held in Chicago, USA. Swami Vivekananda reached there as the representative of India. The people of Europe America looked at the people of that time with a very inferior look. Their people tried a lot that Swami Vivekananda did not get time to speak in the Sarv Dharma Parishad. He got some time with the efforts of an American professor, but all the scholars were astonished to hear his thoughts. Then he was highly welcomed in America. There was a large community of his devotees. For 3 years he lived in America and continued to provide wonderful light of Indian philosophy to the people there. Given his oratory style and knowledge of the media, their Cyclonic Hindu named him. Without spirituality and Indian philosophy the world would be an orphan. This was the firm belief of Swami Vivekananda. In America, he established many branches of Ramakrishna mission. Many American scholars took his discipleship. He died on 4th July 1902. They always addressed themselves as servants of poor. He always tried to make India's pride bright in the country and longitudes. Whenever he went anywhere, people were very happy with him. The work that Swami Vivekananda accomplished in a short lifespan of 49 years will continue to guide generations for many centuries to come. At the age of 30, Swami Vivekananda represented Hinduism at the World Conference of Religions in Chicago, USA and brought it universal recognition. Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore once said, "If you want to know India, read Vivekananda. In them you will find everything positive, nothing negative." Romain Rolland said of him, "It is impossible to even imagine that he is second." Wherever he went, he was the first. Everyone would refer to their leader in them. He was the representative of God and his specialty was to attain sovereignty over all. Once in the Himalayan region, an unknown traveler stopped by seeing him and shouted in surprise, "Shiva." It was as if the deity of that person had written his name on his forehead. He was not only a saint, he was also a great patriot, speaker, thinker, writer and human lover. Returning from America, he had called upon the countrymen and said, "New India has come out from Modi's shop, from the ruckus, from the factory, from the heart, from the market, came out from the bushes, forests, mountains. And the public answered Swamiji's call. She left with pride. The public support that Gandhiji got in the freedom struggle, it was the fruit of Vivekananda's call. In this way he also became a major source of inspiration for the Indian freedom struggle. He believed that Holy India is the holy land of religion and philosophy. It is here that great saints and sages were born. This is the land of renunciation, and it is here, only here, from time immemorial to the present day, that the highest ideal of life and the door of liberation have been opened to man. His statement: "Arise, wake up yourself, and wake up others. Make your male birth successful, and do not stop till the goal is achieved." Swami Vivekananda was opposed to the English education system propounded by Macaulay and prevailing at that time, because the aim of this education was only to increase the number of babus. He wanted such an education which could lead to all-round development of the child. The aim of the child's education is to make him self-reliant and make him stand on his feet. Swami Vivekananda has termed the prevailing education as prohibitive education and said that you consider a person educated who has passed some examinations and who can give good speeches. But the reality is that the education which helps the common man to struggle for life, one who does not build character, who does not develop the spirit of social service, and who cannot develop courage like a lion. What is the benefit of such education? Swamiji wants to prepare for both worldly and transcendental life through education. In relation to education from the secular point of view, he has said that we need such education, by which character is formed, the strength of the mind increases, the intellect is developed, and the person becomes self-reliant. From the transcendental point of view, he has said that education is the expression of the inherent perfection of man. These are the basic principles of Swami Vivekananda's philosophy of education. 1. Education should be such that the physical, mental, and spiritual development of the child takes place. 2. Education should be such that the character of the child is formed, the mind is developed, the intellect is developed, and the child becomes self-reliant. 3. Equal education should be given to both boys and girls. 4. Religious education should not be given through books but through conduct and rituals. 5. Both temporal and transcendental subjects should be given place in the curriculum. 6. Education can be obtained in Guru Griha. 7. The relationship between teacher and student should be as close as possible. 8. Education should be promoted and spread among the general public. 9. Technical education should be arranged for the economic progress of the country. 10. Humanitarian and national education should start from the family itself. His eloquent and succinct lectures are famous all over the world. On the last day of his life, he interpreted the Shukla Yajurveda and said one more Vivekananda is needed to understand what this Vivekananda has done so far. According to eyewitnesses, even on the last day of his life, he did not change his meditation routine and meditated for 2 to 3 hours in the morning. Apart from asthma and sugar, other physical ailments surrounded him. He had also said, "These diseases will not allow me to cross the age of 40. 4th July, 1902 in the Ramakrishna mat at Belur, he took his life in a meditative state by taking Mahasamadhi. His disciples and followers built a temple there in his memory and established more than 130 centers to spread the messages of Vivekananda and his Guru Ramakrishna throughout the world. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon.